This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight Now, we bring you a discussion on Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat. The participants are Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and S. Rangabhasham, AIR correspondent.
Mr. Tandon, a warm welcome to the program, and we are discussing the Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio, and today was the 98th episode of this very popular program, which the entire country looks forward to listen to the program. And the uniqueness of this program is that it's not a one-way communication or an address to the nation. It's actually a dialogue between the Prime Minister and the people, isn't it, sir?
Certainly. In fact, this particular aspect Prime Minister has been emphasizing in every episode of Mann Ki Baat, that it is a dialogue with the people of the country in the remote and remotest areas. And then he supplemented this argument by saying that whenever during Mann Ki Baat he has raised an issue of concern or interest to the people, it has transformed into a mass movement. And then he gave the example when he talked of the toys industry in India. Now it has become a mass movement. People all over the world are now crazy about Indian toys. Similarly, when he talked of promoting Indian sports, and then we see the result in all the competitions, and so Indian sports. So like that, it has become a popular movement. And then he gave a very interesting example. He said in one of the episodes of Mann Ki Baat on the Sardar Patel birth anniversary, which is celebrated in India as Unity Day, and he talked of 3 competitions. And these competitions were about the folk songs and patriotic songs and lalbi and rangoli. And he said that tremendous response. 5 lakh people from more than 700 districts across the country participated in, and children, adults, all sections of the society sent their entries in more than 20 languages. And in fact, he said today he was reminded of the great Indian singer Lata Mangeshkar, because on the occasion of this, when this competition was launched, she tweeted urging people to participate in these competitions and see the results today. And he gave the example of all the competitions, the people who have won the prizes, he congratulated all of them, and in fact the clips of the lalbi in Kannada was also shared with the people. And similarly, somebody who won the 2nd prize from Kamrup district in Assam, his clip was also shared with the people. So he basically wanted to prove that whatever he has been talking about, about the interest of the country and the interest of the people, and people have participated and turned into a mass movement. And whether it was a Rangoli competition, like that, all the competitions congratulated the prize winners.
Yes.
And said that people should continue to participate in all these events. And then he gave the example of the Ustad Bismillah Khan Award, and he said, this Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar, that was given away to emerging talented artists in the field of music and performing arts, and resulted into a tremendous response.
Mr. Tandon, today was the 98th episode, just too short of the magical figure of 100. Surely we can expect the 100th episode to be really a big fanfare and a really special edition of the Mann Ki Baat program, isn't it, sir?
Hopefully, because it will be a huge milestone when we reach 100th episode of Mann Ki Baat, and I'm sure Akashvani must be planning something big on this particular occasion. You know, PM also talked about the power of digital India.
Exactly.
He said it is visible in every corner.
Yeah, and especially Sanjeevani app he spoke about. Isn't it, sir? Some 10 crore teleconsultations. That's a huge, huge landmark.
Certainly, when we talk of the power of digital India, so many apps are also playing a big role in taking the power of digital India to every home. And through this app, teleconsultation is something which is really unique. Sitting far away through video conference, the people of India can consult a doctor about their illness. Until now, the number of teleconsultants using the app has crossed the figure of 10 crore. Can you imagine? 10 crore consultations through video conference, an amazing bond between patient and doctor. And this is a huge achievement. So this particular aspect needs to be emphasized, that there is a living example of how the people of India have made technology a part of their lives. E-Sanjeevani app has proved to be a great boon for the people.
Right, sir. And Mr. Tandon, he also spoke about the UPI app, the Unified Payment Interface, and the recent development wherein even Singapore joined, and now people from both the countries can seamlessly transfer money either way, isn't it?
Yes, certainly. When we talk of technology like the e-Sanjeevani, which has become a life-saving app for the common man of the country and also for the middle class, and particularly people in the remote areas like the hill areas, it is the power of India's digital revolution. And today we are seeing its effect in every field. As you very rightly mentioned, the power of India's UPI. Now, many countries of the world are drawn towards it. And Prime Minister said just a few days ago, UPI PayNet now link has been launched between India and Singapore. And therefore the people of Singapore and India are transferring money from their mobile phones in the same way as they do within their respective countries. And he said the people have started taking advantage of it, well, be it India's e-Sanjeevani app or UPI. These have proved to be very helpful in raising the ease of living.
He also spoke about cleanliness, the initiative which was started many years back, the Swachh Bharat initiative. So we have seen a sea change in the behavior of people towards cleanliness and keeping their surroundings, their homes, their cities clean. That is very perceptible.
Certainly, because I remember when Prime Minister launched the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and he had recalled Mahatma Gandhi's drives, and I remember he said Mahatma Gandhi, whenever he launched some program like Satyagraha or Swachhata Abhiyan, he made it a mass movement. And now look at it, the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and in fact he has changed the meaning of public participation in our country. And if something related to cleanliness takes place anywhere in the country, people certainly inform the Prime Minister about it. And that is how his attention is drawn to a cleanliness campaign by the youth of Haryana, which you gave the example, that in a village of Haryana, the youth decided that Bhiwani city has to be made example in terms of cleanliness. And they formed an organization called Yuva Swachhata Evam Jan Seva Samiti, and the youth associated with this committee reached Bhiwani at 4 in the morning, and together they run cleanliness drives in different places, and these people have so far cleared tons of garbage from different areas of the city. So waste to wealth is also an important dimension of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. He in fact gave the example of a sister from Kendrapada district of Odisha. And he said she runs a self-help group. The women of this group make many things like baskets and mobile stands from milk pouches and other plastic package material. Now this is becoming a good source of income for them also. So therefore the Swachhata Abhiyan has actually turned out to be a mass movement in every nook and corner of the country.
Yeah, and he also highlighted the importance of using alternate material for carrying, like bags instead of the single-use plastic, like switching over to a cloth bag.
Yes, but another very important aspect was, which Prime Minister invariably mentioned in every episode of Mann Ki Baat, is vocal for local. And he said that now many festivals will be coming, and so therefore we have to be very careful. When we celebrate Holi, we have to celebrate our festival with the resolve of vocal for local. It's clearly a message. People who will be celebrating Holi and the kind of stuff they use like gulal, it should be indigenous, made in India, and also it should be organic. So these things Prime Minister invariably reminds the countrymen, and people do listen to him and they follow it also. I think that is the beauty of his interaction with the people on the platform of Mann Ki Baat.
Yeah. And Mr. Tandon, don't you think this entire program, Mann Ki Baat, when it started and from there on to almost 100 episodes, it's like a family elder taking care of the entire family, talking about issues which are close to heart of people, of children, of youth. It's a fatherly figure taking care of every member of the family.
Certainly, it's actually a two-way. Prime Minister also gets a lot of ideas from the people who are working in their own way in different parts of the country, in remote areas, without getting any publicity, but doing a great service to the society. So the Prime Minister invariably says that he gets inspiration from these people, and therefore he continues to work for the welfare of the society and the betterment of the country. One interesting episode which the Prime Minister mentioned today was about the birds which are now going extinct in a country, and we have to save them. And there are many such great traditions in our own country which have disappeared. So we have now to make efforts to make these traditions and revive them also with the power of public participation. And therefore, he said that Mann Ki Baat is perhaps the most appropriate forum when we discuss these things and revive all these traditions and our culture, our cultural heritage, and our reviving the traditions. And that is exactly what he has been emphasizing in every episode of Mann Ki Baat. And power of public participation, I think, is the most important segment of the Mann Ki Baat episode.
And the Prime Minister has always been keen to highlight the importance of Indian toys, the local toys with whatever material they are made, like usually, toys made of wood especially. Even doctors, pediatricians and, growth analysts, they say that these Indian toys, although they are very simple, but they are very important in increasing the locomotor function of young children, infants, as they grow up, vis-a-vis, the Western toys, which could be, having a lot of gadgetry or technology, but these simple toys are much more useful for kids.
Of course, Prime Minister, when he first talked about Indian toys, and the idea was to promote the Indian cultural heritage and traditions, because Indian toys at the village level and a very important segment of society, particularly for children. And when he talked that we now need to promote Indian toys, and he said nowadays Indian toys have become such a craze that their demand has increased even in foreign countries. So when we speak of Indian genres of storytelling, equally he said.
Yeah.
So therefore, earlier the craze was for foreign toys, imported toys. Now there is a craze for Indian toys abroad. The many leading international chains of toys all over the world are now importing Indian toys which are made, many of them are actually a handcraft and even in the cottage industry. So it's promoting the Indian cultural heritage and traditions through the power of the people, and that is exactly resulting in India becoming a great country now. It's a new India which is now emerging, and that is exactly the message of the Prime Minister in the Amrit Mahotsav call.
Yeah. Mr. Tandon, today's episode also had, liberal sprinkling of music, whether it was the lullaby, which is close to heart of, millions of people, or whether it was the instrumental music. He spoke a lot about music today in today's episode.
Yeah, because it all started when he was talking about the competitions on the occasion of the Unity Day. Yeah. And these competitions were about the patriotic songs, lullaby and rangoli. And in that context, he talked of the wider participation of people, and then he also, shared the clips of some of he talked about the musical instruments also, and he talked about the winners who have won the awards. He talked about Mr. Manjunath of Karnataka, who won the award in Lalbi Malagu Kanda, written in Kannada. And similarly, Mr. Dinesh Gowda, a resident of Kamrup district in Assam, who won the second prize in the competition, and that clip was also shared. So he talked quite at length about the Indian music and Indian musical instruments, which now needs to be promoted once again.
Mr. Ashok Tandon, thank you so much for joining in this program.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat. The participants were Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and S. Rangabhashyam, AIR correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.